Yo, what is good, Steelers Nation? Welcome back to the channel, guys. We have some more breaking news, highlights, analysis, observations from another day here in Pittsburgh for Steelers training camp. In this video, I'm going to break down all the things that I saw in day, I believe 15. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is day 15 now. We have a couple of highlights, nothing crazy as a crazy catch right there with Darnell Washington, and that dude is going to be pretty unstoppable, and I'll tell you guys why in a second. However, before we jump into the video and all the news and notes, make sure you guys do me a huge favor, guys, and smash the like button. It helps out the channel so much you don't even understand. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I will be covering the Steelers and the rest of the NFL throughout training camp, regular season, preseason, signings, trades, everything you can think of. I've got you guys covered. So make sure you guys join the family. But without any further ado, let's get into the video. Now, let's talk about a little bit of the starters, the first team, the second team. Now, the first team offensive line included Dan Moore, Isaac Sumalo, Mason Colt, James Daniels, and Okafor. And then the second team, Broderick Jones, Kevin Dotson, Kendrick Green, Bill Dunkel, and LaRaven Clark. Now, the surprising thing was Broderick Jones on the second team. Don't take that too, don't take that too personal, or don't take it with a grain of salt, is basically what I'm trying to say. He will be the starter. He's been amazing. I think they're just trying to mix in some other guys in case of, an injury or someone has to miss time. They want these guys to be prepared. They want them to, be utilized in the right way and just have the chemistry with the rest of the guys. So I think this is, things that you're going to see for the next couple of days. But when it's all said and done, I believe Broderick Jones will be a day one starter at left tackle. I don't think it's anything to be too concerned about or too nervous about right now. And then moving on into the first team session, Isaiah Loudermilk and Cam Hayward were the defensive tackles. Quan Alexander and Cole Holcomb were the inside linebackers. Then we saw DeMonte Casey, Micah Fitzpatrick as the safeties, and then Patrick Peterson, Levi Wallace, and Chandon Sullivan were the corners. Now, this was interesting in my opinion because Chandon Sullivan was in the slot. Now, we've seen, them utilize a ton of different corners in the slot in terms of Elijah Riley, Chandon Sullivan, and even Patrick Peterson has been thrown into the slot a couple times as well. But Chandon Sullivan, a guy who they signed mid-draft, is starting to really turn out to be someone they really do like. He's been kind of making a name for himself. He's been kind of, working his way up the depth chart, and he's been really good so far. We also saw George Pickens and Allen Robinson on the field with Deontay Johnson. Allen Robinson was actually your slot receiver, so that was something I took note of. That was very interesting. Najee Harris was someone who was in the game a lot. So that was something that I was excited to see. Dude, and we're seeing Quan Alexander. Dude, Quan Alexander he might be one of the most underrated pickups so far in the offseason. I mean, this dude is everywhere. Everywhere. I mean, there's not a play that goes by where he's on the field and I don't see him do something productive. That's just a kind of player he is, and he's shown that before in the past, and he's doing it here in Pittsburgh as a late addition. They gave the ball to a couple times to Najee Harris in the red zone. Got stopped a couple of times by Cole Holcomb and a couple of other guys piling on him. And then they motioned out to the empty set with Jalen Warren coming in and out, getting a carry between the center. And that was the team's first offensive score came to Jalen Warren. He's been really good. Anthony McFarland then came into the game. He looked okay. And then defensively, they substituted in Armand Watts and Montravius Adams, Joey Porter, James Pierre, Elijah Riley came into the slot, and then Atlanta Roberts and Mark Robinson came in at middle linebacker. So that was interesting. That looked like the second team defense right there. And then we got some DB wide receiver 1v1s. Deontay Johnson had a step on Levi Wallace down the right sideline, and that was very interesting. He made the catch on the sideline. I think it was a touchdown as well. Not too sure if he got both feet down, but that's what I saw. You saw Elijah Riley get some early contact with Allen Robinson, and then they were going the hand fighting down the field. So that was interesting. Got to see a couple of them. We got to see Cody White and James Pierre face off. Deontay Johnson, did some dirty things to Lavert Hill. Stopping on a dime and kind of breaking his ankle, so that was interesting to see. But a lot of these guys really look good in practice today. I mean, obviously they haven't done any joint practices yet. I don't know if they will, but some of these guys are really starting to break out. In my opinion, the guys I'm most excited to see are Calvin Austin. I'm excited to see how he progresses through with this team. And, this is his first season. He looks electric so far. And then they have a guy, Hakeem Butler, who is a former high draft pick wide receiver. He's starting to really look good as of late. So I'm excited to see what he does over the next couple of weeks. And then we got some more team sessions, a lot more notes going on here, things I've written down. If I'm looking over here just because I have my notes written down, I have things that I want to bring up with you guys. Nick Herbig and Marcus Golden look really good at outside linebacker together. They were getting to the quarterback, creating some pressure a ton. Montravius Adams and Cam Hayward were the starting defensive tackles on the second team session. I think Montravius Adams is a big dude, so I think the former Auburn defensive tackle, I think he's going to be someone who they try to get to contribute a decent amount here. So I'm excited to see what he could do. Kenny Pickett looked relatively good throughout practice today. He had a couple of good connections with Deontay Johnson and George Pickens, a couple of touchdown grabs, and Calvin Austin get down the left sideline. And his speed has been absolutely terrific so far in camp. But overall, man, the Steelers' offense looks good. The Steelers' defense looks extremely good. Everywhere you look in this team, man, they just have guys that want to compete. And that's something you just want to see out of your team. So let me know what you guys think about the Steelers team. Kenny Pickett starting to really progress. You see Darnell Washington making a big name for himself, a guy who they want to utilize a ton right now. He's listed as number 3 tight end, but I expect him to be on the field a good amount throughout the season. Guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, join the family, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. And if you love playing fantasy sports like football, basketball, baseball, and so many other sports, but also love being able to win money, you're going to want to stick around for this whole segment. Introducing Underdog Fantasy, the ultimate platform for fantasy sports lovers. Do you want to experience the thrill of drafting your team and competing for huge prizes? Well, look no further. With Underdog Fantasy, you get access to a wide range of fantasy sports, including football, basketball, baseball, and so much more. But here's what makes Underdog Fantasy stand out from all of those other apps. They've got quick and user-friendly drafting process, a unique and exciting game formats, fair and competitive contests for all skill levels, and attractive bonuses and promotions. Not only can you draft teams and compete with others, but you can also play a game of higher and lower, which is personally my favorite thing to do on there, but you can potentially win 20 times the money you put down. And if you use code MattyDubs when you sign up, Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. And what that means is basically when you deposit, let's say $100, they'll give you a free $100 to use and play with. Click the link in the description to get started, or head to the website right now to start dominating the fantasy world. And don't miss out on all the fun. Be a part of the Underdog community starting now. And don't forget, if you use code MattyDubs, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. Let's get started. Get into drafts with me starting today.